everyone, and welcome back to The Fit Curls. My name is Angela. I'm a fitness professional and a curly hair enthusiast, and I use this channel to teach you how to keep your curls in shape. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so you don't miss a single thing. Now today, I am about to show you all of my secrets and the method I use every single time to get the best, most defined, most voluminous, longest lasting results when I style my curly hair. I call this the MPH method. All you need to remember are those three letters. So if you're excited to learn every single one of my secrets, go ahead and hit this with a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get styling. All right, MPH, three letters that most of us are extremely familiar with. Most of the time we're thinking miles per hour, but for this, MPH means something a little bit different. It means moisturize, plop, hold. Those are the three steps in order. You can follow these steps with any products, any styling technique, any drying method, and you're still going to get the best possible results. Now, I am currently wearing the results of today's MPH method styling, and I am super thrilled, as always, with how they turned out. So let's talk about each of the steps a little bit, one by one, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about while we do it. All right, step one, the letter M is for moisturize. This can be with either a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream. This is the step that I use to define my curls, and this is typically how I'll do it.
I apply my leave-in before I ever step out of the shower on soaking wet hair. Today I chose Cake Beauty's The Curl Shot, which is packed with glycerin to draw water in and fatty alcohols and amino acids that help smooth and seal the cuticle. This makes detangling much easier, and applying my leave-in on ultra wet hair allows the product to distribute easily and evenly. Doing so in the shower just keeps my bathroom floor cleaner. Now, if you have low porosity hair and you want to minimize how many products you layer, you could probably stop after leave-in for the moisturizing step and still get fabulous results. However, my high porosity hair needs all the help it can get to retain water, so I will layer a cream on after this. Once my hair is detangled, I clip my hair up to allow the conditioning agents to do their job for a few minutes before styling. Alrighty, time to finish step one by defining my curls. Here are the products and tools I'm working with today. A cream for moisture and definition, a gel for hold, a styling brush, and perhaps most importantly, water. Okay, here is my favorite trick for finding the right product amount. Gather your hair together and measure the circumference loosely with your forefinger and thumb. That circumference is the amount of product you want to start with. Then rake and smooth it through your hair all over. I personally love the Cousin It approach as shown here because it keeps me from missing the back and crown of my hair. Since I style in sections, I'll check section by section and apply a bit more product if I need to. After raking, I brush it through for continued even distribution in my thick hair, but this is a personal choice. Your preferred method of product distribution and application will totally work here. Then I section off my hair from the ears down and clip the rest away. For best results, I recommend having your hair fully saturated with water. Listen for the squish sound as you squeeze. Or, watch water squirt out between your fingers, either or. Make sure as you apply your product that you emulsify. Really rub it between your hands to see how far it can go. When you think you've emulsified enough, keep going. This will help prevent you from using too much product, which can leave your hair feeling greasy and stringy. Not good. Now, it's worth noting here that a cream is not the only moisturizing product you can use to define your curls. I will sometimes swap in a curl jelly, a hybrid cream gel like EcoSlay's Orange Marmalade, or even just a thick leave-in conditioner. Any of those options will help your curls clump together and find their families. Hashtag no more orphans. I almost always choose to brush style my curls for maximum definition in the least amount of time. If you'd like to do the same, feel free to check out the video that I've linked above. I share 4 different techniques for using a brush to define your curls. Otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, literally any method of defining will work. This styling method is all about order of operations, not dictating your every move, so make it your own. Once your curls are defined to your liking, it's time to move on to the next step.
Right. The second step is the letter P, which stands for plop. Now let's talk a little bit about plopping. There are three main types of plops that you can do for naturally curly hair, and each one serves a slightly different purpose. Wet plopping, or plopping your hair into a non-absorbent material like a shower cap, can be particularly helpful for anyone who needs a little bit of extra time for their hair to absorb product before they move on to the drying step. This is particularly helpful for my curly friends out there who have lower porosity hair. This can make sure that any dry plopping or microplopping you do afterwards, which we'll talk about in a second, don't remove too much of your product so you still get lasting benefits after your hair is dry. Now, dry plopping is the same basic motion as wet plopping, but into an absorbent material. I generally recommend something like a t-shirt towel or a very, very fine microfiber towel. Some of the microfibers out there are a little bit too rough and absorbent for my personal taste, and they can suck a little too much moisture out of your hair as well as create a little bit too much friction. So those I don't generally advise. But if you're plopping into a very soft, lightly absorbent material, this will help to set your clumps very firmly and can help to really enhance a wave pattern. And the final option, which honestly you can combine with either a full wet plop or a full dry plop, is microplopping, which is the version that I typically do. Looks a little something like this.
Take your t-shirt, microfiber towel, or even pillowcase, like I have here, and use it to cup and squeeze your curls in sections. Think of it as a gentle but firm scrunch. Start from the bottom, gather the curls in their natural formation, and scrunch up toward the scalp, pulsing a few times at the top before releasing the section carefully. This step not only sets your curls more solidly, but it also removes excess water, which shortens your drying time. Now, if you are a low-po pal who needs a wet plop, or a friend who loves that hands-free definition of a dry plop, I still encourage you to try microplopping after your full plop is done. I promise it really does help make the onerous drying process go a lot faster. Once your clumps are set and your hair is more damp than dripping, you can shake your head gently to settle your curls into a more normal drying position just to check how everything is laying, and then you are ready for the final step in this styling method.
And now we are on to the final step, hold. This can be any hold styler you prefer, applied exactly how you like to apply it. But there's a reason I do it after the plop. Plopping removes some of the excess moisture from your hair. And while our products are usually activated by water, sometimes the presence of too much water can really dilute them down, so you don't necessarily get as much hold out of your gel. So I like to plop, specifically microplop my hair after I put my moisturizing and defining products in, so that way I get a harder cast and longer lasting hold.
Now, since my curls are already defined, I will not be raking gel through. Instead, it's all about coating and scrunching. Emulsify your hold styler, be that gel or mousse, and then gently smooth it over your curls from multiple angles. You can do the Mains by Mel crab hands to seal some unruly ends and add volume, the classic flip coat scrunch to minimally disturb your clumps, or even gently pat the gel over certain spots. I often do a mix of all the above, adding more gel to my hands as needed as I go, and I always finish with scrunching. And once I've applied my hold styler all over, it's time for a gentle once over to make sure my curls will settle well once they're dry. If you have bangs like I do, or any face framing layers, this is also a good time to throw in some finger coils for maximum definition up front. If you followed these 3 steps, you've completed the MPH method. All that's left is drying your curls and scrunching out the crunch. I always diffuse, but feel free to air dry, hood dry, or any combination of the above, and I'll see you on the other side with my dry, uncrunched results. Ta-da! Soft, voluminous, defined, fluffy curls. Time and time again, this method of styling my curls gives me the best combination of volume and definition and helps seal in moisture for day 2 and beyond. If you use this method, please tag me on social media and use the hashtag MPH curls so I can see your results.
So there you have it, the MPH method for styling naturally curly hair. What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below with any of your thoughts, opinions, and impressions on this video, as well as any of your experiences once you try this method out for yourselves. I am so hopeful for you guys that it will work just as well as it has worked for me, and I've already heard some really fantastic success stories on TikTok, so feel free to check those out as well. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to some more styling tutorials like this, hit this with a thumbs up. Not only does it support the channel, but it really does help to let me know the kind of content you guys want to see, so that way I can make the Fit Curls the best fit for you. Now, if you haven't joined the Fit Curls family here already, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and rung the notification bell before you leave. Feel free to share this video with your friends who might enjoy it and could learn a thing or two, and join the family all across social media. I spend most of my time on Instagram and TikTok. YouTube videos take a little longer than the short form content, and I also post different content over there than you guys will typically see here on YouTube, so make sure you're not missing a thing and join the family all over social media. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video and continuing to support the Fit Curls. Love your curls, love each other, and I will see you all next time. Bye.